At Kroger, shopping with pickup and delivery is the same as shopping in-store. Same low prices, deals, and rewards on the same high-quality items. It's one small click for groceries, one big win for busy families everywhere. Start your cart today at Kroger.com. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Save big on your favorites with the Buy 5 or More, Save $1 each sale. Simply buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to the EPL Index Transfer Daily. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday. We are getting towards the weekend, the Premier League being back in full swing, which we're all looking forward to. But the transfer gossip keeps on coming, doesn't it, on this Thursday? And there's some dominant themes. You probably saw last night, those who keep an eye on the transfers, that Reguilon has now joined Brentford for the rest of the season. So was on loan at United, back to Spurs. Spurs sent him straight out the door, and he will spend the second half of the season at Brentford. So they do have the left back they were seeking. And naturally, the other story that is expected to come to fruition today is that Jordan Henderson is set to become an Ajax player as well, because obviously that's been going for a while, but now it's been confirmed that he has terminated that Al Ettifaq contract and he will be an Ajax player, as expected to be, by the end of the day. So what else is in the key stories today? Mainly it does concern Calvin Phillips. Now, depends where you look, because there are various Calvin Phillips stories, and the main one yesterday was that by the end of next week, naturally, Manchester City will decide his fate. With a lot of stories, they're asking for an up to £6 million loan fee to take him on. I think that's why a lot of clubs will be resistant, especially in the current climate and what we know at PSR. So the Telegraph, interestingly, has the two Spanish giants, or two of the Spanish giants, in Atletico and Barcelona interested in acquiring his services for the rest of the season, has them leading the way. iNews has that Newcastle have literally given up on Calvin Phillips and they are scouring Europe for a short-term midfield option. And interestingly, speaking of Newcastle, there's a few links like that, despite their difficulties, as we know. But Tutto Mercato have actually mentioned the Italian side that they're looking at the Atalanta midfielder, Edison, the Brazilian who plays in Italy for Atalanta, is maybe a target. Doesn't really specify in short-term or long-term that way. A few other ones to point out. Now, the Athletic, it was a David Ornstein sort of bomb that last night and into this morning. There's quite a few stories in it in the Telegraph as well. But Ornstein, it's important to really quote, because we know the weight that his articles hold, says that Chelsea, they are willing to give up on these homegrown products, aren't they, to get the money. So Broja, their forward, is, they're willing to let him go, as Ornstein says, if the price is met. So he cites West Ham, Fulham and Wolves as all interested. And the Telegraph did follow that up late last night, one of their stories, saying that £50 million, £50 million, not cheap at all, is it, is the price it will take, or what Chelsea are looking for to free Broja. And it's quite clear, because, a few other sites have repeated that Tottenham are still looking at Conor Gallagher today, but those names are coming up, aren't they? Gallagher, Broja, Chalobah. Those are the players, the homegrown, where they can get the most profit, as it were, that Chelsea, for the right price, will happily ship on. You'll all have your opinions on that. Again, there's a repeat of some things from yesterday, but just to sort of call them out. So 90 minutes, benches at Liverpool still retain an interest in the long term in Chelsea centre-back, occasional left-back, Levi Colwell, England international. So that might be one to see in the summer, but doesn't look like anything short-term. All these articles seem to be leading towards the summer, realistically. L'Equipe are saying, interestingly, that as much as PSG are trying to keep Kylian Mbappe, and that, the 100 million a year was the stories that were going yesterday. Gonçalo Ramos, the forward they bought for big money from Benfica in the summer, that has not worked out at all. And quite often, Luis Enrique is not playing him. So they are looking to cut their losses and are scouring Europe to see who is interested in Goncalo Ramos, the Portuguese forward, 22 years old. So be interesting to see if they get any takers short-term or long-term. Plettenberg for Sky Germany, again, mentions that it's those Chelsea links, isn't it? That Fulham are now leading the chase for Trevor Chalobah. So that's the club to keep an eye on. And there's even a few articles which mention a potential swap deal. Crazy, this. Another player that's not got long to left to go on his contract. Tosin Adebayor, the giant centre-half there. So a lot of suggestions. And I say a few articles, it's important to say that we've seen today, that they're looking to do a swap deal. But Chalobah very much expected one way or another, linked with Bayern at one stage, to depart this window if they can. The Telegraph also has an interesting one, that as much as Spurs have got reinforcements during this window, that Højbjerg, I think it's pronounced, isn't it? The Danish midfielder has hardly played, and that Napoli, that's in the Telegraph, have inquired to see about his availability for January. Just not playing at all, is he, there under Big Ange? Good old Bruno Guimaraes keeps coming up. So Football London have the Arsenal are very much looking or at the forefront of that queue to get Bruno Guimaraes, the Newcastle Brazilian midfielder. So that'll be an interesting one. A reoccurring one, Saïd Benrahma. So there was earlier links right at the start of the window with quite a few French clubs like Marseille and Lyon that went quiet. However, Foot Mercato have now said that Marseille will be back in for the Algerian international after having that first bid turned down. So that is fully expected to happen. In United news, we told you before, they are looking to clear the decks, as it were. However, one they were trying to get out, Amad Diallo, the young winger, 21 years old, he has turned down a move to Middlesbrough. Michael Carrick, the United old boy, on a temporary measure. So he has turned that down. And one other one to really finish, and we stick in the sort of things we go on back to the capital and Spurs, that they have called back Japhet Tanganga because his loan wasn't really working out at Augsburg, was it? And he is now expected to go to Millwall on loan till the end of the season. There's a bit of a theme with that for clubs. Liverpool have done it, Tottenham are doing it. If a loan doesn't work out, they are recalling the players, and it seems not to have any real interest in bringing them into the first team squad. It's more about shipping them straight back out, i.e. getting them playing, i.e. retaining that asset value, even if they're not going to be there long term. So it'll be interesting to see as the window ramps up. The Calvin Phillips, Jordan Henderson, England midfielders looking for options ahead of the Euro seems to be dominating. It's now all to see, isn't it, people, about the PSR, and will those in trouble be forced to sell? Will those not in trouble be able to scavenge around for a bargain deal? But that, ladies and gentlemen, on a Thursday morning was the EPL Index Transfer Daily.
Sports Social Podcast Network.